And we are back here at the 15th annual Sin City Classic presented by Lexus. I'm Roman Jimenez, broadcasting from the Ken Scarce Memorial Broadcast Center. And we are Cloud Sports Network here on the Sin City Classic Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we are Tyler Forrester on cameras and graphics, Mitch Barnes on technology and computer stuff, and my broadcast partner. Calling this game today with me is the venerable Hall of Famer, two-time, in fact, the voice of gay softball, Rich Siegel.
Thanks, Roman. Hi, everybody. We have a winner's bracket game about to start here. It'll be between the L.A. Shade from Los Angeles and the Columbus Fugitive from the CLGSA in Ohio.
So not quite a coast-to-coast matchup, but a Eastern time zone to Pacific time zone matchup, at least. The Shade from the Greater Los Angeles Softball Association, I believe, will be the visiting team, and the Fugitives of Columbus will be the home team. Calling balls and strikes today is Scott Sleeman, formerly of San Diego. Now God knows where he lives, because I can't remember.
He doesn't know.
I've only known Scott about 175 years. But for whatever reason, I can't remember where he lives now. We're working on the lineups. Our amazing team and player ops crew of Charles Brown and Jordan Espiritu have been phenomenal assets this weekend, haven't they, Rich?
Yes, they have. We have been very blessed to have been able to have these two help us out. They are getting our lineups so that we don't have to. They're getting the shout-outs that you have been given, the on-air shout-outs to various players and family members and cities and leagues, and even to players that were not able to make the trip to the Sin City for one reason or another.
They were so helpful yesterday. Today's, they've just been here. They were so helpful yesterday. We were actually able to bring you a game extra, sort of added coverage, because we were set up in time and ready to go in time for an 11 o'clock game, which I think was, well, I don't remember which game it was, but it was Philadelphia and...
I'm trying to think of that, too.
Who did they play? Yeah, but we were able to bring an extra game.
We know it was the Philadelphia triple play. That I remember.
Was it Houston? No, I don't remember. But because of their efforts, we were able to bring bonus coverage to the Sin City Classic. Usually we do about 6 games a day with a break in the middle. But yesterday we were able to do a 7th game. And our coverage today will take a break after this game, but after this winter bracket final. We will take a break and then come back with games at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then the D Division Championship at 4 o'clock. And the first pitch of this winter bracket final is about to get underway. Here with the play-by-play is Rich Siegel.
And so we have this contest for you, the Columbus Fugitives and the L.A. Shade. The Shade, the visiting team in this game, and the first pitch is hit out to second base. A bobble, but a recovery and a throw to first in time. Josh Smith will be the batter. He wears number 13. He is their catcher. He stands in from the left side of the batter's box, and the first pitch to him. He swings and grounds one in the hole between first and second on into right field for a base hit. So a one-out base runner is Josh Smith. And that'll bring up Brandon Watson. Is that correct?
That is Brandon, Watson? Absolutely. We know Brandon well. This LA Shade team, the last tournament they played in was the San Diego Autumn Classic. They performed admirably down there.
First pitch is taken for a ball, sorry.
We were able to have some coverage at the Autumn Classic.
Here is a pop-up behind home plate and a nice play made by the catcher, and that's out number 2. Here's Rudy. And he goes after the first pitch and bounces it right back to the pitcher on to first, and the inning is over. A hit and one left. And after a half an inning of play, it is the LA Shade nothing and the Columbus Fugitives coming to bat.
Now that we have a break in the action, I want to tell you about my friend Bridget at Angel Babies Surrogacy and Egg Donation. They're an international agency that has proudly helped queer folks build their families all over the world for 20 years. Almost exclusively working with LGBTQ families is Angel Babies, and if you're gay and ready to add to your family, well, you're going to need an egg donor and a surrogate. And Bridget and her team at Angel Babies have high-quality, affordable egg donors and surrogates ready to help. So believe me, you want Bridget on your team. She's amazing, and her success rates are outstanding. Wherever you are in the United States, whether you're in Columbus or Los Angeles, she is amazing, and her success rates are outstanding. Get Bridget on your team. Head over to absurro.com. That's ABSURRO.com and get in touch with my friend Bridget today. Affordable, reliable, high-quality egg donors and surrogates are really hard to find right now. Really hard to find. But Bridget and her team have them, and they're doing them for the right reasons. So, if you need one, get a hold of Bridget at Angel Babies Surrogacy and Egg Donation.
All right, everybody's set and ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning. Stan Berg will lead off. And the first pitch to him is a pitch deep for a ball. And the umpire says get that down a little bit. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a swing, and he lifts one into left center field. Left center fielder stumbles and then can't get his glove on the ball, and Stan Berg will lead off with the double.
That's a gopher gremlin out there, got him.
Here's Mike. Where's number 17?
Who are you rooting for, Facebook? Let us know. We've got a few shout-outs that we'll get to here during the course of the game.
Looks like you got many of them for this game.
We do. Look at that.
First pitch. Strike call. On the inside corner, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stan Berg at second base. And next delivery is hit in the air to left field. Back and making the play is the left fielder, and that's out number 1. On the play, Stan Berg moves to third. That's Ramos, Jonathan Ramos out in left field, who made the catch, and now the batter is Nick. And Nick swings and lifts one foul down the third baseline for strike 2. Stan Berg at third base with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Nick waits for the 1-2 pitch, and here it is. And it swings and hits one to the shortstop. Bobbled by the shortstop. He's going to come home, and the runner is safe. So it'll be a fielder's choice to the shortstop, no out. The run scores, and Nick is at first base with 1 out.
So as Stan came home, that's a good time to give out his shout-out. He wants to shout out to Quinton. So Quinton is also a player on this team.
That'll bring up Ben Sterling. He's giving a shout out to someone that's here?
Yeah, on his team, yeah.
All right.
Well, they'll go back and watch this game. So
Ben Sterling takes a strike. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We've got the CLGSA logged on and watching.
And that pitch is a little deep.
This Fugitives team has given a shout out to the CLGSA.
And the next one is popped up on the infield, fielded by the pitcher who makes the one-handed grab for out number 2. And that'll bring up Brad Camphouse. Brad Camphouse is the batter.
What's that last name?
Camphouse.
Oh, that is so not what I thought you said.
First pitch is illegal, ball 2.
I thought it was Cat House.
Camp.
No. I said no.
This pitch is a strike called, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's an unfortunate last name, but Camphouse makes more sense. That makes much more sense.
The pitch is a ball, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and swing and a bouncer back to the pitcher. He'll make the play to the first baseman, and the inning is over. 1 run for the Columbus Fugitives. And after the first inning, it is 1-0 for Columbus.
As we head into the shade half of the inning, they have a couple of shout-outs. There's a few of them. And of course, we know a lot of these shade folks personally because they are just a couple of hours up the freeway. Plus, we see them all the time, so it's good to have them on the broadcast. And it's also great to have it's always great when you have a team from the last city to have hosted the Gay Softball World Series.
Yes. They did a good job, didn't they?
The Columbus series is a perennial favorite of ours and a lot of the folks that we know who go to it. And once again, Dallas and Keith and the whole group of folks over there did an amazing job. Barry and so many others.
James Msanius leads off here in the top of the second. His team behind 1-0. There's a swing and a fly ball foul down the left field line and into foul territory for a strike.
In the early goings here, it is about 50-50 if between on Facebook, on social media, as to who is rooting for whom. So we've got about 50-50 Fugitives and 50-50 Shade.
As it should be. There's a fly ball hit out in the left center field for a base hit. So a leadoff single by James will bring up Pedro Nila.
Pedro is a pickup player for this LA Shade team. Lives in San Diego. Plays on the plays in America's Finest City Softball League. I almost said he plays on the AFCSL team, but he plays in AFCSL San Diego, along with his husband, who's also on this team.
There's a ground ball up the middle, past the shortstop, and into center field for a hit. So the first 2 batters reach. And that'll bring up Shane Hoffman, the pitcher.
Shane has a couple of shout-outs to Liam, Hava, Hattie. Ava, Hattie, and Milo.
And the next pitch is swung on and hit to the first baseman. It bounces off of him into foul territory. The runner at second reaches third, so it'll be runners at first and third. And the other runner to second, so we've got the bases loaded. Ball hit right at the first baseman. It just bounced off of him, past the bag and on into foul territory, and that allowed Hoffman to reach.
Hard hit ball, and that first baseman had to rush over there.
Here's a ground ball to shortstop out at second, and a double play at first off the bat of Alex Perez. A run does score.
I think that's a trade you make. If you're early in the game, you've got bases loaded, you get an opportunity to give up only 1 run for 2 outs. That's a bargain just about every team is willing to make, and that's certainly what they did there.
And Pedro reaches third base. Here's Tony. And he swings and rifles one foul down the left field line.
That's fantastic. Do they have their own Instagram too?
don't think so.
We'll share what we're chuckling about here in a minute. Or what
This
I'm
is
chuckling
Tony,
about.
and the next pitch to him is hit up the middle and on into center field for a hit. That'll score Pedro, and the score is now 2-1, LA Shade.
Anthony, who is just up at the plate, wants to give a shout out to Bruiser and Brooklyn, who are his dogs.
Aww.
We just wanted to know if they had their own Instagram account.
Jonathan Ramos, the batter. He lines one into right field for a base hit. Tony comes around second on his way to third. It'll be first and third with 2 out.
And Jonathan had a shout out as well to Jamie, Jonathan, Jeremiah, and then Friend.
Friend. Just one? No friends? Just
no,
one?
just one. He's only got 4 friends. Jeremy, Jeremiah, Jamie, Jonathan, and then Friend.
Greg Hessler takes a pitch for a strike. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 2 runs have scored in the inning, and we still have 2 on. And the next one is popped up on the infield in foul territory, and the catch is made by Mike. And that is the inning. 2-run score for the Shade here, though, in the top of the second. And after an inning and a half, they lead the Fugitives from Columbus 2-1 on the Cloud Sports Network.
I think we're going to give the Friend a name, like Amigo.
You're funny.
That's what we'll do. We'll call it. So Jonathan's giving a shout out to Jamie, Jonathan, Jeremiah, and Amigo. We've got it.
I got it.
You're confused with the game he goes.
Not to be confused, no. All right, so we want to know who's rooting for whom. Whom is rooting for whom? Still about 50-50. Fugitives, Shade.
That is Manny. My friend Manny Garcia from Austin is playing on the Fugitives team in this tournament.
What's good?
Hannah will lead off for Columbus here in the bottom of the second. He goes after the first one and rifles one into right field. That drops in for a single. He'll hold it first. Solid single to right on the first pitch. Josh Tetters will bat next. First pitch to him is a ball. Next one is inside. What is that?
I don't really know how to describe it, I'm being honest.
There's a line drive into right center field. It's down for a base hit. Hannah round second on his way to third. He'll hold up there, and it'll be first and third. Do well, Manny. My friend Manny Garcia from Austin, playing on the Columbus team, steps in. Here's the pitch. Garcia lifts one in the air to left center field, and the catch is made. It'll be a sacrifice fly as Hannah scores from third, and it's 2-2. Tetters held first base, or it could be Teeters. Nevertheless, we have a runner at first and 1 out and 1 run in. Shane Coe takes the first pitch for a ball.
Shane wants to give a shout out to his brother Mac. So hi, brother Mac.
Here's the next one. Swung on and hit into left center field, and it's in for a base hit. Peters holds at second base. It's first and second with 1 out. And we'll bring up Tyson George. Tyson is the last batter in the order, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. The next one, he hits it to the opposite field to second base. They get a force at second. Quick throw to first, safe. Ball is dropped by the first baseman, but no further advancement.
I don't know that the runner wasn't safe just on his own. Even if the ball hadn't popped out of Brandon's glove, it looked like the runner had beaten that.
That's Camphouse, who is the courtesy runner, and he is running for Teeters. So Shane Coe is forced at second base, and the batter is the top of the order at Stan Berg. And his first hit was a double. And the next one on that first pitch was ball 2-1. He pops it up on the infield, caught by the second baseman, and the inning is over. But another run for the Fugitives. After 2, our score is tied at 2.
Got ourselves a tight game, which is what you'd expect in the winner's bracket final of the D1 division here at the 15th annual Sin City Classic presented by Lexus. The winner of this game will advance to the championship. The loser of this game will drop down into what is effectively the 3rd or 4th place game of the bracket. So we will see both of these teams again, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, we will.
We'll have the championship game, and then we'll have the last couple of games leading up to the championship game. That'll happen when we come back from the break. And we will have a break after this game is over, as we've done 10, 11, and now 12. We'll take a break from 1 to 2 and then come back and do 2, 3, and 4.
Give the chance to rest our voices. Anthony Avidia will lead off here in the top of the 3rd inning. He is the last batter in their order. He's the EH, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. Are you all talking about still what that picture was? Ground ball up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. I'll have a courtesy runner for him. It'll be Alex Perez. We come back to the top of the order.
Now we were trying to figure out who the next game is that comes on after this.
Angel Moreno. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, and then we realized that we don't have the next game after this. So that's what we were kind of chuckling about.
So Angel Moreno will still be the batter with 1 on and nobody out. And the first pitch to him is hit to the first baseman. He touches first for the out. He'll go to second
and
the tag. Safe.
Oh, they didn't get it. Scott Sleeman all over that call there.
He got the sure out at first and made a really nice throw to the shortstop over at second base, and almost got the pinch runner, Perez.
I think that's Neela running.
Here's Josh Smith. Yeah. It is Neela. They gave us an incorrect number here, so Alex Perez is not wearing 23. And the first pitch to Josh Smith is a ball. The next one is a ball. And he walks.
That'll bring up Brandon Watson. We've got a shout out to him, or from him, to the 11th floor, which is basically what he stares at just every time he stands up.
It's one deep to left center field and caught. Runners tag and go to second and third, where they will be. The ball bobbled in the infield, and the runner comes home.
That was just superb base running by Neela, running on contact once that ball gets caught. He's got the speed to do it, and they chased the runner, which meant that the trailing runner was able to get all the way over to third.
And that's Josh Smith. Here's Rudy. He swings and grounds one to the second baseman, and it's beyond him and on into right center field for a hit. Josh Smith scores. It is now 4-2. And it'll bring up Rudy. Or rather, James. Here's the pitch to James. He hits one foul to the right side and just out of the reach of the third baseman for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We had mentioned Alex Perez earlier. He had a shout out to the Bengals.
The football team?
Uh-huh. Or the band, I'm not entirely sure. He didn't specify.
And here's another foul ball, and the batter is out because there is no courtesy runner.
That'll bring up Pedro Nila, who's doing his best to get his 10,000 steps in this inning.
But he doesn't know that
But he
was the
doesn't know
third out.
that he doesn't know that the third out has been recorded. So we were just going to let him stand there. But he's now figured it out. That gives me an opportunity to share a little bit of information about the Naga Cup and the Gay Softball World Series. Coming up Easter weekend, April 15th through the 17th in Richmond, Virginia, Naga presents the Naga Cup, an invitational tournament for the best of the best in A and B Division tournament play. Check them out on Facebook at 2022 Naga Cup. Then later in the year, y'all come to Dallas for the Gay Softball World Series. You hear? It's August 29th through September 3rd, and more than 200 teams are expected. So visit nagasoftball.org for more details and check out the host city's Facebook page, 2022 Dallas Gay Softball World Series.
Bottom 3, and Mike Huell hits one to the third baseman, a pop-up in fair territory, and that is the first out.
Third baseman, last batter. Yeah, in the dugout. In the start of this inning.
And the Cloud Sports Network will be at the Gay Softball World Series in Dallas on Saturday and the Friday before it.
Nick swings and lines one to the shortstop, Angel Moreno, and he made the easy play, and that's 2 pitches and 2 out here in the bottom of the third for Ben Sterling.
Want it. Fugitives, you want it.
First pitch to him is a ball. Ben Sterling waits. The pitch is delivered and hit into left center field, and that's in for a base hit.
Do something.
Hey, 2 out still. 1 or 2, huh? 1 or 2.
Do something. Number
Tony
one.
gets the ball back in, and now the batter is Brad Camphauser. Kampphauser. There's a pitch hit opposite field for a hit. Runners at first and third. As Ben Sterling goes all the way from first to third, giving us runners on the corners with 2 outs. And the batter will be Hannah.
1, 2, 5.
And that pitch hits the dirt in front of home plate for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. There's at first and third, and that's rifled into right field, and that is in for a hit. Run will score as Ben Sterling crosses the plate. The ball was bobbled in the outfield, and that will allow Camphouse to score. So we're tied again at 4 apiece.
And on that RBI, it's a good opportunity to give Quentin a shout-out. He had a shout-out to Angela, his fiancée. So, hi, Angela.
And that'll bring up Josh Teeters. Pitch is a strike called. First 2 batters hit the first pitch they saw, and they both made outs, and then we've had 3 consecutive hits and make it 4 as the ball goes over the shortstop's glove and on out into left center field. This will plate Hannah and makes it 5-4 for the Fugitives. And there'll be a courtesy runner on first base for Manny Garcia, who hit a sacrifice fly to left center field and drove in his team's first run.
Still a little sore. Still a little sore.
And the next one. Here's a line drive out into left field, and the ball drops in front of the left fielder for a base hit. We'll have runners at first and second with 2 out. And that'll bring up Shane Coe.
This is a tight ball game we've got here.
3 runs have scored this inning, and they're not done yet. And Coe swings and hits one just under the reach of the shortstop and into left field. The courtesy runner for Teeters will score. Garcia to third. So first 2 out and then 6 consecutive singles. It's plated 4 runs. This is Tyson George, and he takes a strike. Pitches a ball. And here's another one. Swung on and hit to deep left center field. That ball's got some carry and will roll all the way to the fence. Garcia scores. Coe comes around third. He will score. Tyson George heads to third base, and he is in with a triple.
That was a good job by Tyson on the slide. Had he not slid, I'm sure he would have been out because the ball actually beat him. But because of the slide, the third baseman had to grab the ball and then swipe it over and apply it. That extra delay allowed him to slide in safely.
6 runs have scored. It's now 8-4, and Stan Burke hits a high fly ball into center field, caught by the right center fielder, and that ends the inning, but not before Columbus. The Fugitives score 6 times, and they have doubled up the LA Shade. It is now 8-4 after 3.
This gives us an opportunity to share a remembrance about a good friend of both Rich and myself, Ken Scarce, as we're broadcasting from the Ken Scarce Memorial Broadcast Center here at the 15th Annual Sin City Classic. I know we were all very shocked and saddened to learn of his passing last year in the middle of already a tough year. And I know that Ken is looking down here incredibly proud of the effort that the rest of the team that had been assembled around this tournament stepped in, stepped up, and just followed his mantra of "you got this." And boy, have they.
Dr. Jason Poplinski, Larry Ruiz, your friends, our friends, Rick Moss, who's running this, Rick Moss running the softball portion of the Sin City. I think there are around 25 sports that are being competed in Las Vegas this weekend, and they all have the signature of Ken Scarce.
Nick Berry, who handles their social media, they've just been tremendous in stepping up in so many different ways. Longtime commissioner of the Greater Los Angeles Sports Association, Softball Association rather, Glassa. He's looking down, proud of how his LA Shade are fighting here in a deficit, but down but not out.
Pedro Nila hit the first pitch to the outfield for the first out of the inning, and that brings up Shane Hoffman, and he hits one in the air to right center field. Easy play for the right center fielder, who makes the put out for out number 2. And that'll bring up Alex Perez. Strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's a swing and a slow roller to short. He picks up the hop, and the inning is over. Oh, nope.
Just 2, I think.
That's 2.
So after being forced out at second on his own accord after he'd gotten a single, Nila is now being tapped to run again.
Tony reaches for one and hits one beyond the pitcher and the second baseman into center field for a base hit. Runners at first and second for Jonathan Ramos.
Jonathan, with the shout out to Jamie, Jonathan, Jeremiah, and Amigo.
Be a pet.
Could be.
First pitch swinging again, and that's in the shallow left center field. And that ball is not caught. The ball is still in play. Neela scores, and on the play, Perez to third.
We have another shout out from Fargo. First time on TV, so wants to shout that out. And then their sponsors, Round and Third.
And there is a foul. That's Tony at third. And Ramos at first. The batter is Greg Kessler. And the next pitch to him. He swings and hits one into left center field, and that ball will be dropped by the left center fielder. That will allow Tony to score. The throw comes home, and on that play, Greg Kessler takes second. So we've got another run for LA.
That ball had an incredible amount of topspin on it. It was up, 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 and then it was down, and it got down and forced the outfielder to make the adjustment. I think he was expecting to catch that ball around the chest, and he had to drop down to try to catch it around his kneecaps, and just spun right out.
Here's Anthony, and he hits the first pitch in the right center field, and the ball is mishandled out there, and that will score 2 runs as Ramos and Kessler score.
Running on contact with 2 outs, that's how you're taught, and that's certainly demonstrated there, as I believe now the score is tied, isn't it? That's what I have, 8-8.
I have 8-8.
Yeah. This game, if you wanted a nail-biter, if you wanted a good competitive back-and-forth matchup, well, we've got it for you here in this winner's bracket final.
Here's Angel Moreno, and he swings and hits a slow roller back to the pitcher, who tosses to first, and that ends the inning. But 4 runs score. We are tied. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We're at 8-8 here on the Cloud Sports Network.
How are you? We're trying to hang in there.
Eight,
8-8, you say? Even better. I like even more. What's that? We're gonna do what we can. I mean, St. Louis, we were a lot closer.
This is a good opportunity to get in a little reminder about the 2022 Asana Softball World Series. It'll take place August 16th through the 20th in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Join us as an estimated 100-plus other teams comprised of cisgender women, trans men, non-binary, and agender athletes come together to compete in multiple divisions to earn the title of world champion. Visit asanaseries.org for more information. Like them on Facebook, too, at Asana Softball World Series, and we will be there to broadcast. Very excited about returning to our 4th Asana Softball World Series.
The delay here is they're checking the score and they're trying to get it verified, but I believe we have it right at 8-8. And that's what I'm sticking with. Mike Hillel, the catcher, will lead off here. And he takes a couple of pitches for balls. And he walks. Here's Nick. Nick has grounded into a fielder's choice and lined to the shortstop. He's 0 for 2. Takes the first pitch for a ball and takes this pitch for a strike. 2-2. Here's Here's a ground ball up the middle and through into center field for a base hit. Mike will hold at second base, Nick on at first. And that brings up Ben Sterling, who has popped to the pitcher and singled and scored. He was part of the two-out rally in the 6-run third inning, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. And the next one is hit up the middle, and that's through for a base hit. Mike will come around third, and he will score. The ball bobbled in the outfield, and that will allow Nick to go to third and Ben Sterling to second. Here's Brad Camphouse with runners in scoring position here in the bottom of the fourth for his team, who has regained the lead at 9-8. And the next one, here is a pop-up into shallow right field. Second baseman back and calls for it, makes the catch. Runner at third tags, and he comes home, and he scores. The other runner to third, and he is safe. Nick coming in on that sacrifice fly to the second baseman in shallow right field. The second baseman going back on the ball, allowing Nick to come in and score, and running on the play, Ben Sterling to third base. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Camphouse, and now our score is 10-8. Quentin Hanna swings and hits one into right field for a hit. Ben Sterling will cross the plate with the third run in the inning. It's now 11-8. And Josh Teeters will be the batter. Runner at first, 3 runs in the inning and 1 out, and there is a fly ball hit out into right center field. That ball's got some carry and will go to the fence on 2 hops. Hanna comes around third. He will score. Teeters on his way to third, and he is in with the stand-up triple. Manny Garcia, the batter, now with a sacrifice fly RBI in the second and a single and an RBI in the third. And he swings and hits one high in to the shortstop. The shortstop makes the catch for the out. Out number 2, and brings up Shane Coe. And the first pitch to him is illegal, too high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner at third, 2 out. The pitch is a ball, ball 2. 4 runs have scored in this inning to match the 4 runs scored by the Shade in the top of the inning. And it's 12-8. There's a strike. And the next delivery is hit on a line to the third baseman, off his glove and into left field for a hit. Teeters crosses the plate with the 5th run in the inning. And there'll be a courtesy runner on first. That's Brad Camphouse. Batter is going to be Tyson George. 5 runs have scored, 13-8 for the Fugitives.
Back and forth is this matchup.
And a strike call. The next one is high. 2-2. Here is the 2-2 pitch, and that's lined into right center field past the glove of the second baseman for a hit. And on the play, runner stops at second base. It'll be first and second. We swing back to the top of the order, and here is Stan Berg. And the pitch is deep. And Stanberg hits one into left center field for a base hit. They will wave the runner around, and he will score. As George Tyson crosses home plate.
Makes the score 14-8 now.
And here is Mike with a fly ball into left field, and the ball is caught and the batter is out.
They're saying it's 7 runs in.
I see. I have.
They're checking the book to
Yeah.
verify. We'll get a score update here in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll get a score update from our umpire, Mr. Sleeman, here in a minute, if possible. 14-9 is what we've got. 14-9 is the score.
So I have the
14-8.
6 runs in that inning for the Fugitives, and apparently there was an extra run that I did not get in the top of the 4th for the Shade. So
14-8 is the score.
oh, for heaven's sakes! Okay, so it's 14-8. So we do have the right number of runs. All right. Josh Smith to lead things off in the top of the 5th. Pitches a ball. And the next pitch to Josh. Hit in the air to right field. The ball has some carry to the line, and the ball is caught in foul territory by the right fielder for out number 1. Here's Brandon Watson. He has fouled out to the catcher in foul territory and flied out to left center field. And he goes after the first pitch and hits one into right center field. It is right field. It is shallow, but caught, and the right fielder has made the first 2 outs at the top of the 5th for Rudy.
Time is about expired here. Got maybe another minute to go. So Shade is kind of running out of time here.
And there's another fly ball to right field, and that's the inning.
Fugitives are the home team, are they not?
They are indeed.
So I think we're just about out of time here. So unless Shade can have a quick inning, that's going to bump them down to the loser bracket, and the Fugitives are going to probably advance here unless something miraculous happens. Just about 1 minute left or so. In that event, the Fugitives will advance to the championship game. The LA Shade will drop down into the loser bracket.
Fugitive batting here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a lead.
Definitely going to take a couple of pitches, probably.
And there's the first pitch,
Goes
and it's hit
after it.
out into left field, and the catch is made for out number 1. That was Nick. Ben Sterling expected to bat.
Columbus is definitely taking their time. They're not putting an on-deck batter out there. Now they've sent one out.
And the first pitch to him is a
Strike.
strike. I didn't see him move his arm, but
I heard the call.
okay.
What
Here's
it
the next
sounded
one. There's a swing and their fly ball hit out into left field. And that's out number 2. 2 fly balls to the left fielder, 2 outs.
So Shade is doing what they need to do, throw a strike early in the count, and then force some action.
Brad
They've got
Camphouse
just
the batter.
seconds left.
And he swings and hits one to the second baseman. Bobbled the ball, recovers and throws, and not in time.
Had he been out, that would have opened up another
Ball
inning.
game. That's the ball game. Fugitives will advance through the winner's bracket. They win the ball game. Final score, the Columbus Fugitives 14 and the LA Shade 8.
So a good game here in the winter bracket final. A back and forth affair for sure between Columbus and Los Angeles. The CLGSA is the winner of this game, and the Greater Los Angeles Softball Association will drop down in the loser's bracket. We will see the Columbus Fugitives again. We will see the Shade again, though not in the same game necessarily. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with more action here from Field 5 at Arroyo Grande in about 45 minutes or so as we continue our coverage here at the 15th Annual Sin City Classic presented by Lexus. For the Cloud Sports team, I'm Roman Jimenez. We'll be back in a minute.